I would say mainly skateboarding influences my style. I grew up mainly with skateboarders in Ohio, just riding spots with them, and they were really into companies like Alien Workshop. So in turn I got influenced by that when they started showing me the videos. Ass. I'm riding for 17 years, so I'm 25 now, and last year when I turned 24, so that was 16 years of riding, and I realized that I was riding for 2/3 of my life, which was kind of crazy to think about. I would say probably the early days of filming for Catalyst in New York City with all the original New York riders like John and Elmer, Sanchez, Murphy, Dan Barrett would come there sometimes. I was just really young, I was like 15 or 16, and the place felt really, really big and exciting. It's probably like a crouching sort of one that helps my thighs, I guess. My all-time favorite rider would be Connor Davidson, because still when you watch his parts, none of the tricks are really dated. They're sort of universal tricks. And that's really important. I guess it influences my riding, and just really inspires me from watching his last part was a Sovereign Harbor part, and I still watch it to this day all the time. But as far as people who still actually ride a scooter, because unfortunately I don't really think Connor rides anymore, I'd say Jamie Gantz is probably my favorite person who still rides a scooter. I just think it's sort of unfortunate, because when you're done scootering, and if you ever want to look back on your scootering, the entire document of your riding as a whole is just these short clips on Instagram, and there's no sort of like summary or something you really put in effort for to display what you're devoting your whole life to. So maybe I guess it could be a balance of not filming entirely for Instagram and filming for not a part, it doesn't have to be a part, just some sort of longer form of engagement with scooter riding. And I think that we experience scooter riding as videos, so videos are scooter riding, and like anything, if a video is a commodity and there's so much of that commodity, then it becomes not worth value and not desired. So if you put out so many videos on Instagram, and even if you put out so many video parts, your riding becomes less important, and people don't want to see your riding anymore because it's so readily available. I don't know how to pronounce it because it's Icelandic, but it's Sigur Rós is the band, and it's like Heima, it's like Heima. I really like that album. That was my brother. A backside 180 whip. Municipal in Philadelphia. That's right across the street from Love Park. I've never ridden Love Park before it got torn down, but Municipal was pretty unreal. It was like almost like a skate park. I think it would have to be my very last one for Speak, because it was really what I wanted to do. Like, it was exactly where I wanted to ride, and it was the exact tricks that I wanted to do. I don't think it requires much effort, it just requires time. But all I do is I trim my mustache, and then the rest has been almost 3 years of just existing. I just wash it and comb it. I don't really have a beard sponsor or anything. So after Armageddon came out in, I believe that was 2012, there was a period of almost a year where I didn't really have much contact with Andrew or anybody over at Proto. Not because they like weren't answering me or anything, just because not really much was going on. And I was still writing and filming. I didn't really know what I was filming for, but I wanted to do something. I kind of felt that Proto was holding me back. So I was always friends with Colin because I used to go to Chicago a lot to ride because it was close to Ohio. And that was really the only other choice as far as legitimate companies at the time. So I talked to him and he was down, luckily. But it's been great ever since. And I mean, I still have like a good relationship with Andrew. I mean, I've been riding their decks for almost a year now and talking to him about it and stuff, and it seems like Proto has improved a lot. They're making lots of videos and making new parts and stuff, so yeah, everything worked out with both companies. Because I don't really feel like it's benefiting me in any way. Just all the time that's adding up, checking that stuff is not going to benefit me, and I could do something else with that time that is more worthwhile and fulfilling. I think I've had one once, and it wasn't anything special. Neither.
It's the worst.
It's the worst. Neither. They're the worst. Oh, I absolutely liked Catalyst more. I think Armageddon was my all-time least favorite part I've ever made. Catalyst was just really interesting because it was in a time where there was really no standard and we were just sort of like inventing it as we went, I guess, and we didn't really know what we were doing or anything. And when it was finished, I mean, all of us could almost like not really even believe that we did it, but that was probably the most satisfying one. I shoot with a lot of formats now. They're all film, so I shoot 35mm medium format and large format. But I guess what I've been using most recently and probably will use in the future a lot is my large format camera. It's a large format field camera, and I shoot black and white film in it. I think what attracted me most is the full lengths that were made. I didn't really see anybody else putting that much time and effort into them, and I still think that is a foundation of scootering that needs to be filled. I do think it's sustainable if the right audience is found for it, and I think that we just need to do more to capture that. I just think right now kids aren't into the stuff they should be. They're really misled, so I think with more efforts with videos and stuff like that, sort of pointing them in the right direction, there will be a market for core apparel companies and core scooter companies and stuff like that.